Hello, hello, and welcome, my Libra collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Welcome to your 8-card draw. What do I need? Read for this full moon in Virgo, waning to new moon in Pisces, February into March 2021. And my, what a mouthful that is. Welcome back, my subscribers, my friends, my leads. Love you all so much. Hope you are doing well. And ready to read for you. I am your reader, Angelo, Lyons, Mal, for short, professional witch, professional intuitive, president of DrawingTheCircle Productions, the Archangel of Lyons, Angelo Lyons, also Venus in Libra sign, but you can call me Mal. Hi. I do love my intros. I do. I was thinking of stealing something from Rosie O'Donnell and saying, I am your reader, Madonna, right? No, I have eschewed such behavior. Tight. Let's get up in this gig. This is an 8-card draw. 1 card from 8 different card systems, 3 oracles, 3 healing systems, 2 tarot decks to get you the clues, tips, and hints you need about a specific timeline. A waning moon in this case. This is not a timeless read. This is very much a timed read. We are looking at the waning moon starting at the full moon in Virgo on the 27th. 3:17 a.m. That's a Saturday. We're hoping to launch my book Words of Grace the night before, so keep an eye out for that if you're interested. It's my first Kindle. A boy never forgets his first and his last. And then we are looking at the waning moon, right? So it's dissolving, letting go, reducing, even pushing away, which was part of that too. The ebb tide, right? First, the tide rushes in and plants a kiss on the shore, and it would make sense with that new moon in Pisces on the 13th of March, 5:21 a.m. So a Saturday to a Saturday, a 2-week period. I think you're with me so far. So let's get up on this. Let's get up in this gig. I need to slow it down. Energy's high already. It's a good sign though. So please remember to breathe. Both feet on the floor if you can. Focus on your breath, if you will, because this is a general read. Be here now. You'll be able to really sense what resonates within your energy fields and what doesn't, not just the information you'll like and don't like, because what's the point, right? I don't like that. That doesn't mean it doesn't resonate, right? And any intuitive Libra will tell you that. It's like, there's truth in that. That's why you don't like it. So I guess that's about it. All the decks that I read are always in the description box below. We're starting with the Caroline Myss archetype deck, and it can be triggering because it's supposed to. It's talking about the light and the shadow, and I'll explain that as I go along. Otherwise, let's do this. Please take a nice deep breath. Okay, plugged in. Here we go. My collective pantheons of angels, archangels, goddesses, gods, ascended masters and general assembly, as well as the higher selves of all involved, perhaps myself included, 5th dimension and above, 8th chakra and above, higher selves. What is the dominant archetype? The Libra collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs needs to be aware of within themselves, within another, within a situation, some of that, all of that. This full moon in Virgo, waning to new in Pisces, February, March 2021. The detective archetype, lovely. Perfect for an air sign too. Now the detective archetype, you can say, oh, that's cool, but even the ones that sound cool, the shadow is just as nasty, right? So they're neutral. I always say that. People need to, and it's not that you are a detective, you have the detective archetype. It's Sacred Contracts, Caroline Myss, brilliant book, life-changing. The shadow attribute, voyeurism and falsifying information. Lying essentially about what it is that you actually saw, or a voyeurism, which today, I mean, really is, I don't feel like stalking someone's social media is necessarily voyeurism. They're putting it out in public. Do you know what I mean? Stealth. So tricky, right? That's shifted a bit with social media. But the light attribute, great powers of observation and intuition, desire to seek out the truth. And this makes it very much a wisdom family archetype. Because powers of observation, keep that in mind, Libras. You are air signs, so to see things perhaps in ways that others do not. Let's move on. Whether that's you, right, somebody else, the detective, let's go deeper. Healing with the Angels, Oracle, Doreen Virtue. Please take a nice deep breath. My angels and archangels of air and the sign of Libra, please. The Raphaelites. I need one card in clarity. What is the perfect healing angel for the Libra collective? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Yes, I can absolutely relate to that detective archetype. My parents couldn't hide shit from me as a teenager, and they still can't. So please, one card in clarity for the Libra collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Who is the healing angel, the Libra, watching this video, receiving this reading, most needs to call to, work with, read about, however, whatever, this full moon in Virgo, waning to new in Pisces? In romance, sex presented pastorally. Diddly-dee. There is definitely the healing angel of romance. This has now made the detective archetype into what my college roommate, Lillian Carter, Boston choreographer, genius, watch her film Woman, unbelievable, I was there when that was conceived back in the 80s, scoping and probing, which in modern day called stalking. This definitely could be a stalky situation that you need to be aware of. This is a waning moon, whether this is you or somebody else. You know, on the light side of it, great powers of observation and intuition, desire to seek out the truth. I could understand that, but you better call to the healing angels of romance, because oftentimes there's a lot of illusion in romance, like what we think to be true, what we hope to be true, and then what's actually there. Same thing as, well, can we say he said, she said, they said, and then what actually happened, right? Just trying to be politically correct all the time is tricky, especially when you were raised with a potty mouth. It's genetic. Boogie, oogie, oogie. Let's move on. What is the crystal oracle here? I'm going to read this one from the bookie book, but this deck is dedicated to my archangelic lineage, Archangel Ariel, one of the three archangels in my experience of the North and the powers of Earth, hence the crystal oracle, but she is also the archangel of Lyons, and I'm Archangelo Lyons. Cope, breathe. Ooh. Yes, indeedy do. My beloved Archangel Ariel. What is the crystal oracle? Either the stone itself, the message in the book, their experience of it, whether they need to actually own it or not, all of that, some of that, please. For the Libra collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. What is the perfect oracle, crystal oracle for us, the Libra collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs? Considering we've got the detective and the romance angels on the table, yeah, this full moon waning, full moon in Virgo, waning to new in Pisces. What we got? It's the eye of the tiger. It's the thrill of the fight, standing up to the challenge of our rivals. Am I going to say that every time that card hits the table? Probably. Hedge your bets, but probably. QRSTT. That's tiger's iron, not the same. Tiger iron, tiger's eye. One has a possessive apostrophe, the other does not. Calm, clarity, balanced emotions, communication, and intuition. So already the word intuition has been shown to us twice in 3 cards. For a wisdom archetype, this do make sense. If you have been plagued with negative thoughts lately, then Tiger's Eye Crystal will help you rid yourself of these. Mineral Xanax, and help you regain a positive and more inspiring attitude. Now, I do understand that it tends to be very grounding and centering, Tiger's Eye, so it kind of brings you into the body and not so much up in your head. You will soon begin to see things clearly and realize that there was really nothing to fear in the first place. Well, that's good news, right? And if you are the detective scoping and probing, what is the words there? Desire to seek out the truth. That is a good thing to know. Calm your thoughts and start to listen to your intuition. Again, highly highlighted there. Redundant. Know that all is well and that only love surrounds you. Now, it does go on. It does. It goes on and on. This card is also to do with communication. It sure is. It's in the keywords. You may avoid unnecessary turmoil and problems by communicating clearly with others. Don't be afraid to express your views honestly and make sure there is no misunderstanding. You will gain respect and admiration in doing so. Now, who else got Tiger's Eye? I was pretty sure someone else had Tiger's Eye here. Taurus did. Yeah, so that thing of speaking the truth, but doing it from that calm, centered, grounded place. Now, honestly, if you are kind of finding information in that process, you know, maybe you're not ready to completely communicate, but to understand that you might not be seeing things so clearly. And when does a detective ever, right? Until, oh, the little gray cells, right? Until they kind of put it together. Now, I will say the path of true love is a detective's path too. It's a mystical path, meaning there's a mystery. So, you know, you got to walk through the story if you know, or the hero's journey, right? It's like Luke, first movie, your dad's Darth Vader. Oops, spoiler, too soon. There's not much of a journey there, right? It would have really changed the tone of it. Your paternity suits. Can you sue a Sith? Okay, I'm just going to have to file that away and laugh more about that later. Sue a Sith. Let's keep going. We've got 2 oracles on the table and a healing system. Carolyn Mace is definitely a healing system. Let's get some tarot narrative on the table. Daughters of the Moon, what do you need to be aware of inside of yourself? Heart, third eye, crown. Breathe. Oh yes, my beautiful and beloved goddesses of air and the sign of the Libra. Please, 1 card in collective for the Libra collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign watching this video, receiving this reading, dealing with the detective archetype in some way, shape, or form, needing to call upon the angel of romance and needing their tech. My lucky tiger's eye, just never leave it in the car. Angelo, please, what is it they need to be aware of inside their own being? Heart, third eye, crown, chakra correspondence, landmarks there. What is it they need to be aware of inside of them this full moon in Virgo, waning to new in Pisces, and you've got the Wheel of Fortune. Oh, follow the mystery, follow the threads, right? The Spider Woman. The Weaver, the Life Weaver. Yeah, there's fate and destiny here. How you hewn your destiny from fate, though, is the hero's journey in and of itself. You see how I confused those words together. But this is a romantic deal, right? So there are many twists and turns in this story. There is a lot being hidden, and let's face it, romance without a certain amount of mystery, you know, it's different than withholding truth, right? And it's definitely different than voyeurism and falsifying information, right? That's tricky, sticky, icky. Oh, I just got who this might be for me. Oh, I can't keep myself out of the readings anymore. It's all holographic. Boogie, oogie, oogie. Look, something is turning. The wheel is turning. You know that inside of yourself. You're right. Something has moved forward, right? A click of the wheel, a click of the clock. Something has moved forward here. Something has changed, and it's cyclic. It's supposed to. But also the interconnectivity of all things. When the wheel of... That's why it's not just some old wheel. It's the Wheel of Fortune, right? It's the cyclic change of unity, of the world clock, if you want to go there. Every atom and molecule a cog, right? Something's going on here, and that's why I think you really have to focus more on your intuition than what's going on the outside. You're being led, but you're going with the flow of feeling fate. The difference between fate and destiny, there is a difference. Go watch some of my other reads, not going into it right now, because let's see what's going on the outside here. Lower 3 chakras, root, sacrum, solar plexus, physical world, literal level of power. Breathe. Yeah, I'm all in on this one now. Please, my gods of air. And the sign of Libra, you beautiful, beautiful thing. You, please, 1 card in clarity. For the Libra collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign watching this video, receiving this reading, what do they need to be aware of outside of themselves, and maybe even how they appear from the outside looking in, maybe both. This full moon in Virgo, waning to new in Pisces, February into March 2021. 2 major arcana cards, 1 from each deck. You have got the Wheel of Fortune on the inside and the Star on the outside. You better follow your star, baby. Your hopes, your light, your inspiration, your guidance, your grace, your higher self, your angels, your gods, whatever your higher power is. To me, the Star is the most spiritual card in the entire tarot deck, because you could talk about the happiness and clarity of the sun. You could talk about the depth and the connection of the moon, but the Star is just higher in altitude, right? Oh, wow. This is about really your fate and your destiny. Now, I said I wasn't gonna, but here's the difference between fate and destiny. Fate is what you cannot change. Destiny is what you hewn, H-E-W-N, look it up, it's a great word. What you hewn from your fate, what you can't change, what you do with it. I mean, what comes to mind, I get so many examples because this is what life is about, essentially, to me, in terms of the hero's journey. Christopher Reeve, yes, he was my Superman. He was my first Superman. I loved him. That's why I have you don't know how many guys named Clark. No, let's move on. But he really, when did he really become Superman? After the accident, right? It was such a transcendent moment, right? He fulfilled his destiny and helped millions of people as a result of that. And Death Trap, when he made out with Michael Caine, oh dear God almighty, I was like, what, 7 years old? That's how I knew I was gay. And if you didn't know I was gay, check the batteries in your gaydar. I have matching tarot elbow braces on, so it matched my outfit and I wouldn't be unbalanced for the Libra read. Of course I'm gay. Let's keep going. Look, this is almost a Path of True Love read. I say almost because I'm doing the Timeless Path of True Love reads right now with extendeds. All right, enough of that. We got our tarot narrative on the table. And boy, how one card is such a party turner in these reads. Next two are healing. The last two healing systems. We've got the Chuck Spezzano Love Pack, half of the deck. The Suit of Problems, the other three suits. Luck, Healing, and Grace are back on the shelf because you want to know the problem so that you can wane it, right? For a waning moon read, please take a nice deep breath. And I guess we're going to have to go with my Ascended Masters of Soul contracts, right? Because this is a romantic thing. A relationship has been indicated, so there is no relationship without a soul contract and vice versa. So please, one card in clarity. My beloved, beloved Ascended Masters of Soul contracts, like lawyers, what's the problem here that the Libra Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs need to be aware of, right? Because they're the detective, right? You want to know the problem. They need to call upon the healing angel of romance. I'm down with that, right? With that tiger's eye, calm, centered, cool, see things clearly, speak the truth. You will be respected for it because this is a fate and destiny thing. Wheel of Fortune on the inside and the star on the outside. Like this could be big time wish fulfillment and achieving some aspect of destiny. But what is the problem? Because what's the hero's journey without a villain along the line, or a monster or two, or a demon to wrestle? This full moon in Virgo, waning to new. Is that you? That's you. In Pisces, February to March 2021. Cross your fingers. Fear of inadequacy. Now that need not be you. That might be the problem here. Look, the detective means that something is usually being hidden, right? What's the point of clues if it's just obvious, right? And often the most obvious solution is the solution, except in fiction, right? But sometimes not, right? In life too, that we can draw conclusions about things if someone has disappeared, right? Because again, why the healing angel of romance? That there is a romantic issue that needs to be healed here. Not all the information is being shown here. Obviously, if someone has great power of observation and intuition and desire to seek out the truth, I'm just getting more and more and more. You're the detective archetype and you are dealing with someone. Now, look, if this is your fear of inadequacy, let me just say something right now for everyone, everywhere. Louise Hay, you can heal your life. Like, I'm not going to say page 1, but pretty sure it's in the first chapter or 2. She says that the root fear of every human being is the thought, I am not good enough, which is the fear of inadequacy. I'm too big, I'm too that, I'm too this, I'm too that, right? It's everybody has that. It's collective. It's one of the ways that the ego really works to keep us down. So if this is about your destiny and this is about your dream and you hope it can come true, why wouldn't you have a fear of inadequacy? It's almost like that's the price of admission. You have to look at that. You have to look at that and allow that voice within you to have a voice, but don't let it make the decisions, right? Take the time out, get clear, express yourself. And certainly if there's someone who is dealing with a lack I don't want to say lack of self-esteem. You can't have lack of self-esteem. It's not a noun, it's a verb, right? Their self-esteem might not be at that level of seeing that they are worthy, because inadequacy and worth go very much, well, opposite hands in hand, right? They can really counteract each other if they're not balanced, Libra. So this might be a really huge life-changing opportunity here. And faith is required and hope is required, but fear of inadequacy, I would hope. It's like I hope, but, right? It's that fly in the ointment. Turd in the punch bowl. So let's keep it light for a YouTube read, sort of. Turd in the punch bowl. Not the lightest thing I can think of, but let's see. Let's ask the Ascended Masters, the Healing Mantra deck by Matt Kahn. Brilliant healing tool, brilliant healing system, particularly for air signs, because they're mantras, they're in English. I will read from the bookie book here, because this is what's going to help you get through this waning, whatever this is. Please take a nice deep breath. My beloved Ascended Masters of Soul Contracts, then please, for the Libra Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, we need one card in clarity. The perfect healing mantra for the Libras watching this video, receiving this reading, because they need to deal with this detective archetype. They need to alchemize this. They need to really activate their great powers of observation and intuition and really go with that desire to seek out the truth, calling in the help of the healing angels of romance, because it's a thing. I've called upon them. They've helped heal me no matter what the other person was doing or did as a result. Wait till that book comes out. They need this tiger's eye to be calm, to be centered, to see things clearly, communicate clearly, right? And great respect will come as a result of that, because this is Wheel of Fortune on the inside, star on the outside, fate and destiny, inflection point with the fear of inadequacy, the problem here on somebody's part, on everybody's part. My masters, what mantra would you have them do to help them this Virgo moon waning to new in Pisces, February, March 2021? That's a lot. It is snowing and sunshiny outside. Welcome to Armageddon. Illuminating the truth. I am willing to see things clearly no matter the outcome. This is my clairvoyant card. I am willing to see things clearly no matter the outcome. Clear seeing is, well, the French, the English translation of clairvoyant. Clear seer or clear seeing. For the detective archetype, this is genius. I'm certainly going to read this from the book, but I love this, right? Because we can so get in our heads, particularly for things that we have to have faith in, right? Or that we hoped for, right? Of course, it is the job of the ego to mechanistically feed us thoughts contrary to, it's just what it does. It's part of the ego is the part of the soul that is still incubating. So let those express yourself. You say, these are my concerns. Yes, I hope for this, but there is also this in a therapeutic way. And this mantra is going to help, because if I am willing to see things clearly no matter the outcome, then I can really play the game with my guides and my angels, right? And call for clear sight, which for a detective is everything, unless they are in the shadow, right? Voyeurism and falsifying information. Okie dokie. Did I mention I love this mantra 100 times? I am willing to see things clearly no matter the outcome. Yes, I am. When the truth is illuminated, you are no longer willing to settle for opinions, but instead yearn for a direct reflection that can shift fear and apprehension into higher vibrations of acceptance, like acceptance of yourself wherever you are. And everybody has the fear of inadequacy every now and again, and really, it's collective. It's part of the collective ego, as though there could be more than one. It thinks there's more than one, but there's not. In the illumination of truth, it doesn't matter how much life gets inconvenienced or disrupted. Instead, the recognition of fact versus falsehood allows you to move past the shattering of expectations to commune with the reality beyond the horizon of your ingrained ideas. This is really about expansion. What is the point of a detective? Taking the clues, walking the path, taking the journey to solve a mystery, if it doesn't expand them along the way and shatter expectations, whether those expectations are truly based in hope or truly trapped in the fear of inadequacy, to see things clearly, because the quantum's going to play itself out either way. The divine plan is going to have its way with you and will use your fear of inadequacy to get to where anybody's fear of inadequacy, to get them where they're supposed to be on time, particularly when fate and destiny literally on the table. This mantra is ideal for recovering from betrayal. Oh, preaching to the choir. Healing abandonment. Oh, preaching to the choir. And dealing with distrust. I am willing to see things clearly, no matter the outcome. Tattoo it inside your eyelids. That's a good one. And it is. You can see, get clairvoyant. I'm willing to see things clearly. See, Libra. Last card down. I mean, I think that speaks for itself, particularly with that detective thing. But calling in the healing angel of romance, I feel like they're going to guide you to the information you need. Oh, and Tiger's eye, seeing clearly. Yeah. Oh, and the star lighting the way. Got it. Breathe. All right, the higher selves of all involved. I will relay that message, absolutely. Okay, the higher selves of all involved. Fifth dimension and above, eighth chakra and above for the Libra collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, and anyone else involved in this, please. One card in clarity for the Libra collective watching this video, receiving this reading. What is a piece of information, inspiration, or insight through the Whispers of Love Oracle that they need from you this full moon in Virgo, waning to new in Pisces? Now, before I turn that over, they're like, of course you're worthy of your dream coming true. Everybody is. But we've had plenty of examples of what happens when people have their dreams come true before they are ready to receive them. They are cautionary tales, but they are necessary. We all drop the ball at some point. It's how you learn how to hold the ball. Demonstrate love. Find out what is important to the people you love and act on it. And I love that that's plural at this point, because that is the point. You do not have to demonstrate love to just whoever this person is in this romantic thing that the healing angel needs to be healed. Maybe this is just you healing your own romantic energy if no one else is actually directly involved right now. Demonstrate love. Illuminate the truth. You know, people say love and light, love and light. I'm a little sick of it. Oh, love and light, love and light. Like, that's not new. That's been going on since the 80s at least, right? If not the 70s. Love and light, love and light. And now it's thoughts and prayers, thoughts and prayers. It's like, love is the magnetic force that holds together the subatomic particles and the quarks of all that is, right? It's the invisible part of it. It is the void from which all is birthed. I mean, getting all cosmological on YouTube. And light is truth. So light and love is eternal truth and eternal love, the masculine aspect and the feminine aspect in a mystery beyond that which we know. There, Libra, think about that for a while, balance that out, and that's what we're here to do, right? That to demonstrate love by seeking out truth, right? A desire to seek out the truth. This really feels like an immense opportunity. I'm going to say this might very well be an inflection point where the quantum splits in half. You'll still have lots of choices and options either way. But is this fate or destiny? Demonstrate love. Find out what is important to the people you love and act on it, which is interesting. Find out, very much the detective. Yes, this is about romantic relationship in some way, shape, or form, but it does say people on there, plural. I think that's true. I think that's also true of like family members and friends for you. Libra, you're Venus. You're ruled by Venus. The goddess Aphrodite and the god Eros sit in the throne of Libra for me in my pantheon, right? Balancing each other out, mother-son. So there is very much true love between mother, son, parent, child. You get what I mean. But be that. Be that Eros, that god of love. Send those arrows of love, even if they're platonic, even if they're, you know, tribal, family, friends, all that kind of stuff. Let me put this together for you in a read. It's just going to help you see clearly. This is lovely. Brilliant read. Tricky, but, you know, what's a story without a conflict, right? There are no monsters on the path. What's the point? Please take a nice deep breath. Big fifty. It's like DHY. My collective pantheons of the divine, let's bless these Libra collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs with all that they need on the path of true love this full moon to new moon next February, March 2021. that they may alchemize that detective archetype using their great powers of observation and intuition with their desire to seek out the truth, demonstrating love, finding out with that archetype what the people important to them love so that they may act on it in some way, following the interior guidance of the turn of the wheel of fortune, fate and destiny at an inflection point, calling in the healing angels of romance to heal and assist with that. As fear of inadequacy pops up, as it would for any hero on the journey, using tiger's eye to keep them calm and clear so they may communicate and find respect in them communicating what it is they really feel, illuminating the truth as they go, being willing to see things clearly no matter the outcome, like a good detective would, with the star lighting their way, keeping their head up, their chin up, their orientation to the highest and best that they can be, regardless of the deadly sins released from Pandora's box that they may stumble across the way, that there is always that hope, that light calling them forward to bigger and better and their destiny for the well-being of all. So mote it be. Whew. And so it is. I feel like those blessings, it's like they start passing my crown chakra around like it's open mic night. Really wishing you the very best in this. If you liked the video, this is worth liking, I think. Thumbs up. You want more, subscribe. You wanna comment, please do. Oh, and I'm doing tarot parties. I forgot. I'm doing tarot parties on my Facebook page, the Drawing the Circle Productions Facebook page. 10 participants. Zoom. I actually went Zoom Pro. Yeah, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. You pay to play to get in. Everybody gets read. We have cocktails. We do pajama party. Maybe one night we'll even do mud mask tarot party. That'll be fun as I flake all over my divination systems. Otherwise, you're a Libra. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Otherwise, wishing you all the very best and the very blessed of this full moon in Virgo to new moon next in Pisces. My darling Libras, hail. Farewell and blessed be.